The moment I found the lipstick stain on Daniel's collar, my world shattered like a mirror struck by a stone. It wasn't just the crimson smear, glaring against the white of his shirt. That stopped my heart. It was the scent, a musky perfume I'd never worn, clinging to the fabric like a traitor's confession. I stood frozen in our laundry room. The washing machines hum mocking my racing thoughts. 10 years of marriage, a decade of shared laughter, quiet mornings, and whispered promises. Could it all be a lie? My fingers trembled as I clutched the shirt, my mind spiraling. Was this a mistake? Or was this the truth I'd been too blind to see? I didn't know yet, but I would. I had to.
I'm Emily Harper.
35, a graphic designer living in a cozy suburban home outside Seattle with my husband, Daniel, and our golden retriever, Max Daniel, a software engineer with a boyish grin. Was my college sweetheart my anchor? Our marriage wasn't flawless, whose is? But it felt solid. We chose not to have kids, filling our home with Max's warmth instead. My days were routine. Coffee at dawn, walks with Max, evenings curled up with Daniel watching old movies. But that lipstick stain cracked my routine like glass. I didn't confront Daniel that night. I folded the shirt, hid it in a drawer, and waited, my heart a battlefield of doubt and resolve. The next morning, I steeled myself. I couldn't ignore the stain, but I wouldn't accuse Daniel without proof. I started watching him, noticing things I'd missed. His phone, once left on the counter, now stayed in his pocket. He came home late, blaming crunch time at work. His smiles were tight, his touches fleeting. Suspicion grew like a weed, choking my peace. One night, while he showered, I grabbed his phone, my hands shaking as I typed my birthday, his passcode. The screen unlocked, revealing messages from Lila. They started innocently, work talk, casual banter, but then I saw it. Miss you already. Last night was perfect. My breath caught. I scrolled, each message a dagger. Lila wasn't a colleague. She was someone Daniel was betraying me with. My world tilted, but I didn't cry. I replaced the phone, my mind racing. Who was Lila? How long had this been going on? I needed to know more, to see the truth myself. The next day, I followed Daniel after he left for work, my car trailing his through Seattle's rain-slicked streets. He didn't go to his office. He parked outside a sleek downtown apartment building where a woman, tall, brunette, confident, greeted him. They embraced and my stomach churned. This was Lila. She was everything I wasn't, polished, bold, in a tailored coat that screamed sophistication. I watched from my car, rain blurring my windshield, as they disappeared inside. I sat there for hours, my heart a storm of anger and grief, until they emerged, laughing, his hand on her back. I drove home, knuckles white, resolve hardening. I wouldn't let this destroy me. I'd confront it on my terms. The days after tested my strength. I kept up appearances, cooking dinner, walking Max, laughing at Daniel's jokes, while my heart bled. But I was planning. I hired a private investigator, Tom, a grizzled man who confirmed my suspicions. Daniel and Lila had been meeting for months, their affair a hidden thread in Daniel's life. Tom's photos, Daniel and Lila at a cafe, a hotel, in each other's arms, hit like a punch. but they gave me clarity. I wasn't imagining this. It was real. Yet, a part of me still loved Daniel, still clung to the man I'd married. Could I save us? Did I want to? The questions haunted me, but I pushed forward, gathering evidence, biding my time. Everything changed on a rainy Tuesday. I couldn't live in limbo anymore, pretending while my marriage crumbled. I invited Lila to a coffee shop, using a burner phone to pose as a work contact. She arrived unaware of me, her smile easy as she sat across from me. My heart pounded, but I kept my voice steady, introducing myself as Daniel's wife. Her face paled, her confidence gone. I didn't know he was married, she stammered, but I didn't believe her. The conversation was tense, revealing. Lila admitted to the affair, saying Daniel promised to leave me. The words stung, but they freed me. I wasn't the fool. Daniel was the liar, playing us both. I left the coffee shop with fire in my chest. It was time to face him. That night, I laid out the evidence on our dining table. The shirt, Tom's photos, screenshots of texts. When Daniel came home, his face drained of color. He tried to lie, to deflect, but my calm, cutting words stopped him. I know everything, I said, my voice steel. Tell me the truth, or I walk away now. He crumbled, confessing to the affair, to his cowardice, to his confusion. He swore he loved me, that Lila was a mistake, an escape from work's pressures. But I saw through his excuses. His betrayal wasn't a mistake. It was a choice, repeated for months. I didn't scream or cry. I told him to leave, to give me space. He packed a bag and left, his apologies echoing in the empty house. The weeks after were my darkest. Alone with Max, I grappled with pain, anger, and love for a man who'd shattered my trust. I saw a therapist, reconnected with friends, poured myself into work. But the hurt lingered, a shadow I couldn't shake. One night, Daniel called, begging to talk, to try again. I agreed to meet, not because I trusted him, but because I needed closure. We met at a park. Max at my side, and Daniel poured out his heart, promising to change, to earn me back. I listened, my heart torn. Part of me wanted to believe him, to rebuild what we had. But a stronger part knew I deserved better. I told him it was over, my voice steady despite my tears. He nodded, defeated, and walked away, leaving me with a strange freedom. In the months that followed, I rebuilt my life. I sold our house, too full of memories, and moved to a bright city apartment. I took up painting, a passion I'd abandoned, and started a blog about my journey, sharing my story of betrayal and healing. The blog grew, resonating with others who'd faced pain. I found purpose in my words, in helping others navigate heartbreak. I didn't hate Daniel anymore. I pitied him, a man too weak to face his flaws. Lila, I heard, moved away, a footnote in my story. My life isn't perfect, but it's mine, built on my strength. Now, here's where you come in. My story isn't just mine. It's a mirror for anyone who's faced betrayal, who's had to rebuild from ashes. Have you ever been betrayed, in love or otherwise? How did you find your way back to yourself? Share a story in the comments, or write it down, even if it's just for you. Every story matters. Every voice deserves to be heard. Let's start a conversation right now.